Yo guys, it's Jack here. You've probably come over here from one of my Instagram accounts. You've probably seen me talk about mindset, masculinity, self-worth, discipline, and alignment. In this video, I'm going to show you my journey of how I went from feeling lost, lacking purpose, lacking confidence, despite hitting my first 15k months, to now having a far greater sense of direction, confidence, clarity, and purpose so that you can do the same. And as a result of that shift, I started to attract more money in abundance, high value women from all over the world, and a new network of like minded men without chasing any of it. That distinction, chasing vs attracting, is important. I want you to keep that in the back of your mind as we go through this, because most driven men take the wrong direction here without even realizing it. So if you're a driven guy, you know you have potential, you have big goals and aspirations, but you struggle with a sense of direction, focus, purpose, and intensity, the kind that actually changes your life. This video is for you, because in this video, I'm going to break down my path to transformation, so you can make this the year that you truly transform every aspect of your life. Health, wealth, and relationships, by remodeling your mindset, your hormones, and your structure and routines. You've probably heard of the law of attraction, that when you get clear on your purpose, your why, and get clear on what you're trying to achieve, you'll start to manifest that into your life. But here's the part most people miss. In this world, you can only attract what you are and what your subconscious mind knows that you are worthy of. That's why when you chase things, money, women, validation, quick wins, you program your subconscious mind that you're not worthy of them yet. And you might get a taste of it. I did. I made around $40,000 in 3 months in summer 2024. But if you've ever hit a win that didn't actually feel satisfying, you already know what I'm about to say. I wasn't happy, because deep down, my subconscious mind knew I hadn't earned it internally. There was no real purpose, no real why, no structure holding it together. It was money made fast through a get-rich-quick scheme, without alignment. And if you're watching this having chased quick fixes before, you know exactly how hollow that feels, because purpose is what actually fulfills you, and fulfillment is what attracts what you truly want. This is why the world is full of men trying things, trying to get rich, trying things like peptides, supplements, trying to get women, trying to optimize everything on the surface. But underneath, what's really happening is this. They're trying to achieve big outcomes while still identifying as their old self. And if you're honest with yourself, you might be doing this too. That's why when you visualize the future version of you, you need to think deeply about the daily habits that man has. Ask yourself, does he smoke weed? Does he watch porn? Does he party every other weekend? Does he constantly seek distraction and short-term pleasure? Because this is where the law of detachment comes in. You don't step into a new identity by adding things. You step into it by detaching from inputs that no longer belong to you. I learned this the hard way. I moved to Thailand for the first time when I was 21. I told everyone I was coming out here to lock in, to find myself, to step into a new identity. But I didn't understand the laws that come before detachment. I tried to skip stages. I hadn't even locked in back in the UK yet. I hadn't built identity, structure, or clarity. So how was I magically going to find myself in a brand new environment full of distractions? And if you've ever thought a new place will fix this part is important, because that path led me into deeper chaos. I was still chasing, still seeking stimulation, still expecting results without becoming the man who could hold them. And that's when the universe stepped in. Not long after moving out to Thailand, I broke my neck. And while the moment itself was intense, the real challenge came after. when the adrenaline faded, when I was left alone with my thoughts. For a long time, I lived with real fear. Every sensation felt dangerous. Every movement felt fragile. There were nights I barely slept, not because of pain, but because my nervous system wouldn't calm down. That paranoia changed everything. The partying stopped, the weed stopped, not because of discipline, but because of survival. There was no escape, no numbing, no running, just silence. And silence shows you things. It shows you who you are when nothing is distracting you. That stillness forced questions I'd been avoiding for years. What am I actually building? What is my purpose? And for the first time, I didn't distract myself from the answer. This was my death and rebirth moment. And you hear this story over and over again with aligned men and successful men. A breakdown, a near-death moment, a collapse, right before they ascend. This is Newton's third law in real life, a negative force that sparks positive alignment. And if you're watching this feeling restless, unfulfilled, or uncomfortable, not depressed, just aware, that awareness is your wake-up call. Most men never even get to that. To pull myself out of that state, I needed something solid, so I built routine, not obsessively, not perfectly, but consistently. Waking up at the same time, eating properly, training with intention, and I started learning, not motivational fluff, but foundational truth. Health, hormones, testosterone, stress, how the body actually works, how the mind responds to structure. Slowly, things shifted. My mornings felt calmer, my thoughts stopped racing, I could sit still without needing stimulation, and one day I realized something simple but powerful. I don't miss the chaos. Alignment doesn't feel exciting. It feels like clarity, peace, awareness. And that's why most men don't recognize it when they're finally on the right path. From there, I stopped chasing. I stopped refreshing numbers, stopped seeking validation, stopped needing proof, and instead, I focused on value, who I am when no one's watching, how I show up daily, what I build quietly, and things started moving again. Not because I pushed harder, but because I finally aligned. When you chase things, you signal to the universe a lack of. When you focus on becoming, you move like someone who's already worthy. That's the law of attraction. Not mystical, practical. It's not, what do I want now? It's, who do I need to become to attract this naturally into my life? I'm sharing this because I see men exactly where I was. Not broken, not lazy, just misaligned, overstimulated, pulled in too many directions, chasing outcomes without fixing the core. You don't need more motivation. You need clarity, alignment, your health dialed in, your structure solid, your identity grounded. I figured this out alone, not because I wanted to, but because I had to. And if I'd had guidance earlier, everything would have moved faster. And if this resonates, there's a link below to book a coffee chat call with me. It's not a sales call, just a conversation. We'll look at where things are actually off and map a rough path forward. If it makes sense to work together, then we'll talk about it. If not, you'll still leave clearer. 2026 doesn't need more effort, it needs alignment. Reality always responds. The only question is how.